Hi, it's Sandy here, and today I'm at Mottisfont Rose Garden, which is just on the outskirts of Romsey in Hampshire, and the beautiful River Test weaves through the land here. It's a National Trust property and it has the most exquisite rose garden. So the rose garden is actually very busy here today, even though I've come very early. There's something about the rose that calls to people. It calls them to come and rest within the energy and the vibration of the rose. This is the pathway that the Sufi mystics took when they spoke about the rose garden. The Sufi mystic Sadi wrote a book called the July16, the Rose Garden. And you know, this is a place where lovers would come to imbibe, to share in the mystery and the magic that the rose offered to the heart. So many of you that have come on the rose journey with me know the geometry, the sacred geometry of the rose, and how that speaks to the deeper mysteries of the heart and helps us to unpack the stories and the memories that we store within the heart matrix and allow us to come more and more into the center of who we are, into that deeper mystery, into the deepest frequency of the gold, lighting the flame of the heart, igniting the gold, firing the DNA and lighting the golden light body. So the rose comes at this time to help us in that journey, to help us understand where we hold the stories, where we are being called to accept, really fully accept who we are and the journey that we've been on to uncover the richness and the core essence of who I am. So let's have a look and see what this full moon rose reading has in store. And so are you drawn to rose 1, rose 2, or rose 3? So if you felt the energy charge on rose card 1, here she is. So this is Rose Bagua 9, and she's about the culmination of a journey. She's about this stepping into the fullness of the expression of who we've come to be. She's part of the Rose Bagua set, and she sits in the central position at the back or at the top of the Bagua. So she's like our, where we step into an expression, a career path for ourselves, through the heart space, through that alignment with our core essence within, we take that to the fullness of its expression in the world. And that is the richness that we take of our true story and our true purpose here to share in the world. So she's calling you to really look at this place of your expression, what lights you up, what is guiding you forward into the fullness of your expression. And she says, trust your heart. If it lights up, follow it and let it be your guide. Beautiful card to choose. She's like a gorgeous cup to hold. So if you chose rose card 2, here she is, Rose Bagua 3. Now she is all about coming into this place of really connecting with the inner wisdom, with the inner teacher. And through that, of course, the gurus and the guides and teachers that we have had along the way. And it's very interesting that from a Vedic astrology point of view, this particular full moon is called Guru Purnima. And it's about honoring the ancestors and the guides that we've had, the teachers, the illuminators that have come into our path and opened us up to the fullness of who we are. So if you have chosen Rose Card 2, she is asking you to really honor the wisdom teachers, and those that have come in on your path as a way shower and a guide. You know, so often the relationships or the connections that we have with gurus and teachers can be somewhat troubled. And what she's calling us to do is to really look and accept the fact that the guru or the guide was only illuminating for us an aspect of us that was not love. And in that there was a calling to look deeply within to see what needed to be brought out to the light and released. So if you've called her, she's being asking you to look at your gurus and your guides and teachers and fully honour the pathway that you've been on. So if you chose Rose card 3, this is the beautiful golden rose that speaks to the heart, and she calls us ever deeper into that connection with ourselves and with the real golden essence that she carries. So she is a beautiful full rose with an invitation, and she is Rose Angel 11. And I think she came up last time we did a rose reading. You know, this calling to the heart, this calling into that deepest place within ourselves. You know, she says, I am the Alpha and the Omega. I hand you the golden key. So when we take time to really reflect or come into that stillness of the center, the richness of all that we hold can come into the fullness of its expression. And we can hold this greatness, we can hold that golden energy that we hold. A very beautiful and powerful rose to have chosen. So there's a lot of activity in the garden today, and you know, this is coming towards the end of the rose season. The real richness here is in June. The roses are at their freshest in June, so there's a lot of deadheading activity going on here. And actually at Mottisfont they keep a lot of the roses so that they go into the rose hips, so it extends the season of the richness of the garden to see the beautiful rose hips that form from the roses. There's also a lot else to see here today. There's a lot of alliums and geraniums. It's a very rich experience in the garden today, even though the roses are a little bit more sparse than they have been. So I wish you a very good and powerful full moon. I know for myself that I have a task to do this evening. I went off to Glastonbury to the Chalice Well at the weekend to collect red and white spring water, because the guidance and the inspiration for me at the moment is to produce some rose essences from the rose frequencies that are going to be salves and way showers for us in this next phase of opening our hearts and opening our connection to all that is there in potential for our next unfolding. So, as ever, with much love and rosy blessings. Thank you.